The MMA world has just been rocked by one of the most anticipated matchups in recent memory. The YouTube sensation turned boxer, KSI, is set to face off against Dricus Du Plessis, the South African powerhouse, in a clash that promises to deliver fireworks. This announcement has sent shockwaves through the combat sports community, and the fans are super excited. The fight has officially been confirmed, and with it, the stakes have never been higher. What started as a social media rivalry between two stars from different combat sports has now evolved into an epic showdown. KSI has never been shy about testing his limits in combat sports. In one of his boldest moves, he challenged MMA legend Demetrius "Mighty Mouse" Johnson to survive just 1 minute under full mount. With his boxing background, KSI wanted to prove his grappling skills, but the result wasn't as expected.
You want full mount? Okay,
yeah.
full mount, full
Okay.
mount. And yeah, I'll try that. I've done that before. Let's see.
Okay.
Yeah.
And a minute to survive. Okay.
No! Here we go. I'm trying to see how I should lift you. Or any submission where you want to get choked out.
Oh my God. Okay, fair.
Okay.
Holy shit. How long was that?
No! Your ass is mine, boy! Your ass is mine, boy! How close is that? 20 seconds for 17? That's why you love.
No!
You do 13 here?
Wait.
I want this way. Let's go this way.
What kind of choke is this?
This is called a triangle choke.
Oh my God.
It's gonna hurt a little bit, but you'll be fine. Here it goes. Okay. You good?
Yeah. But this time, I'm nowhere near you.
Okay. Perfect. Yeah, let's go like that.
Johnson escaped looking effortless, showing just how deep the experience gap is between a seasoned MMA champ and someone new to the sport. While KSI took it in stride, it highlighted just how much work lies ahead if he wants to compete at the highest level of MMA truly. Despite the criticism surrounding his unorthodox technique, KSI broke down one of his key strategies from a recent bout. While many fans mocked his constant movement and bouncing footwork, KSI revealed there was a calculated method behind the madness, one rooted in survival and disruption. On a podcast appearance, he explained exactly why staying still was never an option.
Because I've been bouncing the whole time.
Yeah.
Because I knew if I didn't bounce, bro, he would have just cut the ring off.
Because this is what
just laid me
this
out.
is what
You know, he's been boxing for most of his life.
Yeah.
So I just knew, like, if I just stood there and, like, fought, you know, with a little bit of movement, he would have just come through with shots, and then I would have been like lost. And then he's just there like, I don't know what to do with this. What is this?
Yeah.
And you tell he was getting frustrated, and he was trying to establish his jab, but because I was never really there,
he played with it.
Yeah.
That mental warfare, he claimed, gave him an edge. It wasn't just about landing punches, it was about making his opponent uncomfortable from start to finish. And it worked. As anticipation builds for his crossover showdown with Dricus Du Plessis, KSI has taken fans behind the scenes of his fight camp. But this time, it wasn't just serious drills and sparring sessions, it was a full-blown Sidemen takeover. In a surprise gym vlog, KSI brought his YouTube crew along to showcase the lighter side of his intense routine. While the mood was playful, the training was anything but. Heavy bag work, cardio drills, and reaction exercises showed that even with cameras rolling, KSI is putting in real work. While KSI's camp has been posting daily updates, things have been quieter on Du Plessis' side until now. In a rare media appearance, one of Dricus' longtime coaches spoke out about the upcoming crossover fight. He reflected on their journey together, praising the South African champ's mindset and work ethic in preparation for what he calls a very different kind of challenge.
Who's gonna be who's the ring announcer? Who's announcing it? Who's announcing the fight? Okay, just say on this, I'm an integral part of Dricus' training camp. He's tall, I understand you as tall. When Dricus wins... I'm not wearing my big shoes now. And when Dricus wins, it's because of me, just saying. Absolutely. When Dricus wins, because he's gonna fucking win. Okay, let's go.
He went on to say that no opponent is taken lightly, influencer or not. For them, the mission remains the same: prepare. Like it's a title defense, then dominate. For years, fans have begged for one final influencer mega bout, Jake Paul versus KSI. But despite the back and forth online, the fight has never materialized. Recently, Jake finally opened up about the roadblocks behind the scenes. In a surprisingly honest moment, he pointed to a mix of logistical issues and personal politics involving his business partner, Logan Paul.
Why doesn't the KSI fight happen?
The difficulty in
weight?
Figuring out the weight. We both agreed to like 185, but that was 18 months ago. We're both heavier. Like, he's walking around at 205. I'm walking around at like 212. I couldn't make 185 anymore. But I've agreed to all of his other terms. I said you could be the A side. We could fight in London.
How much is Logan involved in that, being his partner and shit?
Well,
like, do you ever talk to
doesn't
Logan?
want me to fight him because
it'll cause issues.
No, because he knows I'll win, and it's like kind of a bad look for Prime.
Jake's words added fuel to the fire, reigniting speculation that internal Prime dynamics may be the real reason the bout hasn't happened, and fans are now questioning Logan's silence. The crossover clash between KSI and Dricus Du Plessis left the combat sports world split down the middle. While some praised DDP's control and composure, others saw KSI's volume and aggression as the deciding factor. One of the most vocal reactions came from none other than Logan Paul, who was cage side for the entire fight and didn't hold back.
Logan, what do you think? Horse shit. Do you think KSI won? Horse shit. Yeah, I think JJ won. I don't know.
His statement quickly went viral, with fans either backing his claim or accusing him of bias. Regardless, it added yet another layer of controversy to an already polarizing result. With the Jake Paul fight still looming as unfinished business, fans continue to ask why KSI hasn't pushed to make it happen. But in a recent interview, KSI made his stance crystal clear. He sees Jake as a step backward, a storyline he already closed. Instead, he's chasing something far more dangerous and far more respectable in his eyes.
I beat Logan Paul. Logan Paul is better than Jake Paul. Yeah. So why would I struggle with Jake? I mean, yes, he's got the highlight reels, but once he's in the ring with me, I'm a different animal, man.
It's not about clout anymore, it's about credibility. For KSI, fighting Dricus Du Plessis isn't just a publicity stunt, it's a message to the combat sports world. He's all in. While most crossover fighters rely on private coaches and closed-door sparring, KSI took a different route. Determined to prove he's not just another influencer stepping into the cage for clicks, he's pushed himself to the limit. From strength circuits to takedown drills, every part of his camp has been designed with one mission in mind: surviving Dricus Du Plessis.
Now for the hooks and go. Straight punch and go. 10 seconds. 5, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Hooks. 3, 2, time.
Fans were shocked by how raw and real the sessions looked. No shortcuts, no gimmicks. Just a man pushing past exhaustion, trying to close the gap between entertainer and elite fighter. As KSI grinds away in the gym, preparing for the toughest test of his life, his opponent finds himself in a completely different space. Dricus Du Plessis, fresh off a career-defining victory in his last UFC appearance, is riding high. While the spotlight shifts to this unexpected crossover bout, DDP hasn't forgotten to enjoy the moment he earned.
I'm currently 0-3 against the champ in a beer race, and today that changes.
Yeah, probably not. He finally got it done.
Whether it's family time in South Africa or raising a glass with teammates, DDP's energy is calm, confident. He looks like a man who's already conquered the mountain once and plans to again. The contrast between the two couldn't be sharper. KSI enters this fight coming off a controversial loss, where many questioned his technique and composure under pressure. Meanwhile, Dricus Du Plessis has been on an absolute tear, battling through a gauntlet of elite opponents in the UFC, defeating 5 top-tier fighters on his way to championship glory. So while KSI fights to redeem his name, DDP steps in as a man already proven. For one, it's legacy building. For the other, it's about survival and shocking the world. Even Khamzat Chimaev, known for his no-nonsense attitude and brutal honesty, couldn't resist weighing in on the KSI versus Dricus Du Plessis spectacle. While most expected him to dismiss the matchup, Chimaev offered a surprisingly thoughtful take, focusing not just on the fight itself, but on DDP's mindset and motivation heading into this high-stakes crossover clash.
Who do you think wins that fight?
I think now on the
it's going good for Du Plessis. I think he's more motivated, getting more money, and he's happy with that. So he will fight for his belt.
Chimaev's prediction reflected a deeper understanding of DDP's evolution, not just as a fighter, but as a brand. And with gold on the line, he believes Dricus won't take this lightly. On the other side, while much of the spotlight has been on his upcoming bout with KSI, Dricus Du Plessis recently took a moment to address another name that keeps surfacing, Khamzat Chimaev. In a candid interview, DDP gave a measured take on the Chechen-Swedish contender, offering respect while also pointing out the complexities of Chimaev's UFC journey so far.
Thoughts on the whole Khamzat situation?
Yeah, I think Khamzat is an incredible fighter, but you're fighting in the top 5 of the UFC. Everybody's incredible fighters. And, he has this one thing that works for him and it's been good. But, Khamzat is an absolute animal, absolutely. But, I mean, you look at the Gilbert Burns fight, which you could have scored either way. You look at the Kamaru Usman fight and you go, yeah, he did beat Robert Whittaker. Well, obviously, his teeth broke back. It's unfortunate. He is really good. So, deserving of a title shot 100% after that performance.
His words struck a balance, acknowledging Chimaev's dominance while reminding fans that the UFC's top 5 is a different beast altogether, and DDP knows that battlefield better than most. As rumors swirl about his return, Khamzat Chimaev has re-emerged with his eyes locked on the middleweight title picture. While the world focuses on KSI versus DDP, Chimaev made it clear he's watching closely from the sidelines. In a recent clip, he reflected on his journey from his early days in the gym to now, eyeing UFC gold.
Du Plessis, and I started 23. I'm being first time in the gym. You see all these fights, everything. So now we're gonna wait who is winning the fight and then take the belt.
His message was simple. Let Du Plessis handle his business, then it's his turn. Whether it's KSI or a UFC contender, Khamzat is planning to seize that belt next. As the MMA world buzzes over a potential future showdown between Khamzat Chimaev and Dricus Du Plessis, even some of the sport's most outspoken voices are split. On a recent episode of The Fighter and the Kid, Brendan Schaub and Brian Callen debated how the clash of styles would play out, and their takes were anything but identical.
That's Khamzat DDP in Chicago.
Khamzat DDP.
Who you got in that? Let's start with that. Khamzat DDP. Who you got?
I got
a feeling DDP wins that.
I have Khamzat.
I don't.
Yeah.
If Khamzat can get done the first round and a half, maybe. I just think that thing goes past the third and DDP takes over.
The back and forth perfectly captures the unpredictability of a matchup like this. With DDP's durability and Khamzat's explosiveness, fans and analysts are left wondering who holds the edge. While most analysts focus on surviving Khamzat Chimaev's early onslaught, MMA Guru took a completely different angle. In a recent livestream, he broke down what it would take for Dricus Du Plessis to shake the seemingly unshakable Chechen star.
So this is why I don't think DDP should go out there like,
yeah,
got stuff to take down. Fuck it, dude. Get on his hips before you.
Yep.
You know, and if he stuffs it, so be it. It'll be the least thing he expects. And for a second, Chimaev, who's a killer.
Yeah.
He's a murderer.
Yep.
He goes out there, I'm going to fucking drag this guy in the first round, destroy him. For a second, he goes, what the fuck?
Yeah.
If you can snap that on Chimaev for a second, Whittaker, he never had a moment in that fight where he thought, what's going on?
It was he got me back.
He was complete composure.
Guru's theory centers on disrupting Khamzat's rhythm, even momentarily. Because if DDP can spark just a flicker of doubt early, the entire trajectory of the fight could shift in his favor. As the fantasy matchup between Khamzat Chimaev and Dricus Du Plessis gains traction, Chael Sonnen has stepped in with his signature analytical breakdown. On his podcast, Sonnen dissected the strategic dynamic, highlighting what many overlook: the cardio battle. According to Chael, someone close to the fighters made a telling comparison that points to a major advantage for DDP.
He did use himself as a middleman to make a comparison between those two. That's very, very interesting. Who do you think he went with? He said, and I'm going to summarize for you, but that there's going to be an early storm by Chimaev. But he believes Dricus can sustain the storm, and each passing minute favors Dricus. Now, what he's talking about there, without going into detail, is conditioning. That's what he's talking about, that he thinks that Chimaev's energy going to go down a little bit and that Dricus stands strong. Okay, that's basically every fight that you ever see.
Sonnen's insight adds another layer to the debate. This isn't just about strength or skill, but endurance. And if the fight drags on, he believes Dricus could flip the entire narrative. In the world of MMA, respect is earned, not given. Chael Sonnen recently highlighted this truth while discussing Dricus Du Plessis' rise. Despite being underrated and overlooked early on, DDP's relentless performances have forced even the toughest critics to acknowledge his talent. Sonnen broke down how Du Plessis went from underdog to one of the sport's most respected killers.
My biggest takeaway was the respect that is now being shown to Dricus. Because he did not get that, did he, guys? He didn't get that from any of us. He didn't get that from anybody. He came out and demanded it. The Dricus story is a great story. And there's all sorts of guys up and down the roster. I mean, Joaquin Buckley is attempting to do Dricus. And he's done a damn good job, but he didn't do it as well as Dricus. I mean, you got to remember that story. He piped up on social media to 200 plus followers because nobody followed him.
This shift in perception isn't just about wins. It's about attitude, heart, and consistency qualities that now put DDP in a league where few dare to question his place. The MMA community continues to dissect what a potential clash between Khamzat Chimaev and Dricus Du Plessis would look like inside the octagon. Former two-division champion Henry Cejudo recently shared his perspective, breaking down how the fight might unfold over 5 rounds, focusing especially on the unique challenges DDP presents with his relentless pace and scramble skills.
Dude, Khamzat, I just, in a 5-round fight, man, seeing 2 fights with Khamzat, man, Khamzat could beat anybody in the world in about a round. But I don't see that. I don't see that against DDP. DDP's scrambly, man. He's not super impressed with what he did to Robert Whittaker. But I just feel like you're gonna need to really be able to pace yourself for 5 rounds. And with DDP's train just continue to keep rolling and he's still steaming and his train's still hot, I don't see it, man. I don't see it. And hopefully they fight here pretty soon.
Cejudo's thoughts reinforce the idea that stamina and fight IQ will be crucial. For Khamzat, it's not just about finishing quickly. Lasting the distance with DDP will be a massive test. As talk of a Khamzat Chimaev versus Dricus Du Plessis showdown intensifies, Jamahal Hill stepped up with a detailed breakdown of Khamzat's endurance and grappling. Hill highlighted key moments from Chimaev's past fights to illustrate potential vulnerabilities, while also acknowledging DDP's strengths. His analysis balances respect for both fighters and anticipation for what's to come.
Fades towards the end of fights. As we've seen with the Usman fight, I think if the Usman fight was 5 rounds, I believe Chimaev might lose that fight. You know, the striking, I believe, is kind of like neck and neck, but from what I've seen as far as like the grappling, I believe Chimaev is the more technical, well-rounded grappler, if you will. And but Du Plessis is strong for that weight class.
Hill points out that while Chimaev's technical grappling is strong, his endurance could be tested in longer fights, setting the stage for a battle where stamina might ultimately decide the winner. Jamahal Hill continues his breakdown of the intriguing matchup between Khamzat Chimaev and Dricus Du Plessis, emphasizing DDP's surprising strength at this weight class. As he reflects on Chimaev's rising star and title ambitions, Hill acknowledges the resilience and consistency that Du Plessis brings to every fight, setting up a true test for both athletes.
So it's an interesting match. I think it's an interesting match that it can, you know what I mean? So we're going to see. We're going to see. They've been saying since the beginning Chimaev was destined for title and for championship. So we're going to see if he can get it done. I can't doubt Du Plessis, bro. Every time, any questions that I've ever had or any doubts I've ever had about him, comes out and he wins.
Hill's respect for both fighters underscores the unpredictability of this battle, promising fans a hard-fought contest where determination and skill will collide at every turn. This official announcement between KSI and Dricus Du Plessis marks a defining moment in combat sports history. Fans are witnessing a narrative that transcends the cage, blending drama, grit, and undeniable heart. As both fighters prepare for this high-stakes battle, it's clear that this isn't just another fight, it's a statement. KSI is determined to prove he belongs beyond the YouTube spotlight, while DDP aims to reinforce his reputation as one of MMA's toughest contenders. With contrasting styles, backgrounds, and motivations, this matchup promises fireworks from the opening bell to the final second. No matter the outcome, the ripple effects will be felt across the combat sports landscape for years to come. Who do you think will come out on top in this epic crossover fight? KSI with his relentless pace and showmanship, or Dricus Du Plessis with his seasoned MMA power and precision? Let us know your prediction and why in the comments below.